Okay, in terms of opportunities, we're building our opportunities. We have some nice activity in different stages amongst many of you, but not all of you. You can see that, let's see, we've got Greg, you're there. Who are we missing?
I'm missing, but I really have to put Chubb in as an opportunity.
I was thinking about you this morning, Roberta, and I was thinking, wow, this Chubb thing, I don't even think I've seen it anywhere.
I know. I have to go over with you to be sure I know what I'm doing to enter it as an opportunity in here.
Okay. And then there's some neglected opportunities with revenue against it, but I did go into that yesterday, and the dates are down the road. And here's a question that I have, Lisa. They're showing as neglected opportunities, but the follow-up really isn't until, sometime this summer or beyond. So is this okay?
Yeah, I mean, once again, that's perfectly fine. We've got to remember, the whole point of the cadence is pipeline building for better predictability of your forecast numbers and your revenue going forward, out, quarter by quarter going forward and going out. So if those particular
neglectful, but they really haven't, they can't be done, nothing can be done with them yet.
Right. No, that's perfectly fine, and that's okay because it is what it is, right? You want to put the realistic situation in there, and it's perfectly fine. So if the activity isn't going to happen for another 3 months, that's perfectly fine. But here's the question that you have to ask yourself, okay? And this kind of goes back to Sales 101. If the customer tells you, I do want to do a campaign with you, but I don't really want to talk about it until 6 months from now, here's my concern with that. My concern would be, okay, you don't want to talk to me until 6 months when you think you're going to be ready to do it. Well, what's going to happen between now and 6 months? Is my competitor going to call in, and is my competitor going to work with you to define what the requirements are? What is going to happen in that 6 month time period that I'm not actually reaching out and not talking to you? So you guys need to really be smart about the way that you, should I say, accept a client to tell you when they want to talk to you and what that needs to look like. And the other thing that I would suggest is, make sure that you try and get as much information about what their expectations are as far as what a successful campaign looks like before you have that activity set for 6 months out. Because like I said, what's going to happen in that window? Is the competition going to come in? Is there a chance they could lose the budget? So my point is you want to create a preventative insurance policy so that you do not lose the opportunity and you do not lose the deal. And time kills deals. So you just need to be smart about looking in there and saying, okay, well, what's going to happen in the 6 months? And you can even ask the customer, so help me understand what's going to happen between now and then, and you can determine if there's anything you need to be involved in. So if they tell you, oh, we're going to look at requirement setting, well, is there any selling that you could be doing on the side to sell that customer to your requirements and to your specific solution, okay?
Yeah, I think that, and anyone on the call, please correct me. I think that, like the $720,000 that's noted against Duffy Green, like a big piece of that is for the Olympics for next year and for a possible fall, which is their new fiscal launch. But I know that between now and then, there are lunches that are being set up, there are invitations going out for different events. So the communication continues with the same people that we're involved with. And we're even preparing for what we can bring to them based on the date they've asked us to come back. So I think everybody needs to work that way, and if you're not, that's the only way, to Lisa's point, not to lose momentum and let somebody else into the open space.
And the other thing, too, is exactly to Maureen's point. You're scheduling a lunch, you're scheduling a breakfast, you're doing whatever. When you go to those activities with customers, you're inevitably going to bring back some very important information back into the company. So that information needs to be documented within Salesforce, because here's the thing. The last thing you want is a month before the time, meaning 5 months out, you take a look at and you didn't log any of that information within Salesforce over the course of the 5 months, right? So let's say you didn't log any of that. You have it in your head. If you were to sit down and really truly do a strategic planning session about how not only are you going to extrapolate $700,000 worth of revenue from them, but maybe $3 more million or $4 more million, you have no baseline of data for which to do that from. Therefore, any of the information you get, that should all be in Salesforce, because then at a given point in time you can go back and say, okay, well, what are all the things that I know about this customer so I can make an educated decision as to how we can grow that revenue amount and get more money from them.